Greetings and welcome to another edition of Political Empire. I'm your host, Kim Pearsall with Press Enterprise and PE.com. We're going to talk about how the mayor of New York is getting involved in at least one inland race. And then we're going to talk about the 31st Congressional District, the race that pits Gary Miller versus Bob Dutton for that seat with our Washington correspondent, Ben Goad. So first, Bloomberg backing. Michael Bloomberg, the New York mayor and registered independent, is forming a SuperPAC and plans to throw his financial support behind a few pivotal races this year, including perhaps the 35th congressional race, which pits Gloria Negrete-McLeod against Joe Baca Sr. Bloomberg apparently thinks Baca is weak on gun control, according to a story in the New York Times. And now the race for the 31st. This race between Republicans Gary Miller, an incumbent congressman who says he's moved to Rancho Cucamonga, making him eligible for the newly created 31st district, and State Senator Bob Dutton has been an interesting one. Here to tell us more about it as we get closer to election today is our Washington correspondent, Ben Goad. Ben, how's it going today?
It's going great.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about what's going on here. First, who's backing both candidates financially?
Well, yeah, it's interesting because both of these guys are Republicans. They're running in a district that leans a little bit Democratic, but they finished top two in the primary, and so they advanced to the general election. And so they're really seeking support from the same groups. Thus far, Miller has really dominated the endorsements and the fundraising game. He has raised over $1 million of his own money, and some outside groups, most notably the National Realtors Association, which has put $2 million behind him, have really come to Miller's aid. So Dutton is trying to get elected with more of a grassroots approach, though he has gotten a little SuperPAC money of his own.
And as far as what separates them, because like you mentioned, they're both Republicans, they're getting backing from different groups, though, what kind of issues have separated them, if any?
Well, you know, as I wrote about in the story this week, there's not a lot of daylight between these two candidates on the issues. You know, locally, they both are not supporting the San Bernardino County effort to use eminent domain powers to address the foreclosures crisis. Both of them support local control of Ontario Airport, and national issues they're pretty similar as well. Now, Miller did hit Dutton recently with a campaign mailer criticizing the state senator for some budget votes during the Schwarzenegger and Gray Davis administrations. Miller felt that he voted for bills that were irresponsible in terms of the amount of money the state was spending.
And Dutton recently came back with a video of his own, correct?
Yeah, that's right. I think we have a clip here, but just to set it up, you know, Miller has repeatedly said throughout the campaign that he's not going negative. Dutton points to these mailers, which, you know, did not come from the SuperPACs. They came from Miller's campaign as evidence that he actually is.
Well, we'll take a look at that video.
You realize that I've never said one thing about my brother, ever, in a negative fashion. I've always held you in high respect. I'm telling you, I've never spoke ill of you. I never said one thing about you in the media or in the mail. I could have. I told you I wouldn't.
And finally, Ben, any way that you're summing up the race between these two gentlemen?
Yeah, you know, like I said, this is a race two Republicans in a Democratic area. So not only will Republicans be watching this, but you can count on Democrats in 2 years taking a real strong run at this seat.
Well, Ben, thanks so much for the update. I appreciate it. And we're going to be seeing you very soon on Election Day with all the reports of the results that are going to be coming in on that day. Thanks, Ben, and thanks to you for watching another edition of Political Empire. We'll see you tomorrow.